right, I am working on the base layers of my oil painting. So again, if you are coming back to me here, this is my first oil painting. I've done work in other mediums. Primarily I work in ceramics. I've been doing a lot of watercolor paintings and acrylic paintings also over the years, and this is my first attempt at oil colors. So if you're wanting to see the whole behind the scenes of this, getting ready for it, you can go back and check out the video where I talk about my first time painting with oil paints, and you can see how I navigate that from the very get-go. But here we are. I'm just working on base colors, getting those right. I want to work on adding some more values in these autumn trees a little bit. I think some of these guys are dry, so I might be able to add some detail later. But primarily my focus is going to be working my way down through the middle ground here and then into some of the details in the foreground before I focus on the focal point, which is this deer that's also a stump. So it's like a tree stump, but the top of it's like a deer. And it's going to be puking like moths or something. Like bleh. It's from something, I can't, I'll get there. I don't know if it's like The Grudge or something. I feel like, or maybe it's a lot of movies where they're like, some horror where they get like, there's like bugs coming out. Oh, I think I know, it's the green pile. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I feel like it's in everything. Anywho, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we're working on base layers, silhouette. So I'm gonna blend in while these guys are still wet, some highlights, some lowlights, and just some variety of colors so they're not so paint by number, which is what they look like right now. And then work my way down. Then later on we'll come back and add in some finer details. This is my plan. Like I said, I have never used oil paint, so this is my first stab at it. Just getting a feel for the art medium, but also how it works, what happens when I make a mistake and I forget what I'm doing, and then I go back and paint over top of something and I'm like, oh yeah, this is not acrylic. It's a little bit more challenging that way. However, the blending and the opacity and just even just getting this far in one go is pretty nice too, whereas I think this would be a lot harder to get this far even in acrylic, just because it's not as like it's thick, but it's not, I feel like it's a little bit more transparent, and it takes a lot more layers, I feel like, with acrylic to get this richness. Anyway, again, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but anyways, that being said, let's get into it and make some art. I think I got a nice range of values, a nice base layer down for my foliage. Base layer. I'm not sure how much detail I do or do not want to include on there on the trees yet. I'm obviously gonna have to come back and add some more highlights and value into these and make them a little bit more distinct, or maybe not, I'm not really sure. So my goal is to come back to these when they're dry to add finer details, more highlights and shadows, do some glazing over them. And then when I do everything, fill in the deer because it won't matter. It's not going to affect these areas at the end once this guy's done. And then I'm going to reassess this. I don't want it to be so detailed that it takes away from the focal point because I want this to be, all the emphasis to be placed here. So my job is to keep this the most detailed and different from the rest of the composition, and then this remain more out of focus. Almost like when you take a photograph and you blur out the background, like that idea. I'm thinking, but I don't know how much I am or not going to love it until I see this done, where this is going to be more like that crisp look, like you would have when you're like blurring your background, having that crisp focal point. So that's kind of who I think I am, because I can always add the detail in the background later. I do need to get also, another reason I'm not going to do a bunch of details, I need a smaller paintbrush. This is the smallest one I have for oils. I definitely need a smaller one. But the problem is that it snowed buckets outside. It snowed buckets. And then I guess it's gonna be freezing rain tonight, which means that the over, I don't know, 1.5 feet of snow or so that's out there, it's gonna get freezing rain on top of it. So that means it's gonna rain, but as it's hitting the ground, it's immediately freezing, which means it's gonna turn into every single thing outside. It's gonna have an ice sheet on it. So that's cool. I think it's gonna warm up soon, hopefully, and melt that. It won't stay snowy here for long. Ugh. Bug in my studio in the winter. Random. So I really do need to get a smaller paintbrush. I'm a real fan of these Winsor Newtons, but I'm gonna have to get some new, smaller. I need some smaller paintbrushes in a variety of shapes. That is what I need. I need smaller paintbrush. Anyways, I'm looking at the camera, and this looks, because you guys are seeing, I'm seeing really close, but that makes it look really far away, and it looks pretty good from that angle. Like, I'll show you when you go close. Yeah, you can see my textures, but when you stand back, that's looking much better. So, I mean, who's gonna stand at a painting and be like, hey, look at this painting, let's stick my face right in it? No one. Unless you're a weird paint smeller. Which you might be. And that's cool if that's what you want to do, but I don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna do this. What time is it? 10:41 p.m. 10:41 p.m. Let's smudge some colors in here. Ooh, I might need a bigger paintbrush. I should use a second paintbrush. I have used none of these other paintbrushes. Should I use a square? Should I do it? Nah. I don't know what is with me and square paintbrushes. I really, you know what the weird thing is that this is the exact same size as I use for my acrylic paintings all the time. Like that guy up there, I swear, I think I did it with this almost the whole time. I just really love this size. But I really need smaller. I need teeny tiny hair size things. Like what happens if I decide to paint leaves? I'm gonna need some smaller brushes. Didn't get enough smaller ones. Anywho, and that one my mom has from 1997. I don't know, it's okay. I did some of the things of this one. It's nice. But I feel like I like longer hairs. Not enough hairs. I need some longer hairs also. I just need some variety here. I just really like small paper. Should I use another paintbrush? Maybe. I should probably expand my horizons. Is all this, oh, it's all dry on my palette. Not a real palette. Anyways, let's mix up some paint. Slap it down. See what's what here. I think I'm gonna put this is lake behind here and a shoreline. That's what this smudgy smudge in the underpainting is. Not sure what that is. Can't remember. I need to look at my drawing or turn this into a bush. Or maybe it's just a shoreline wrapping up. Oh yeah, that's for sure what it is. It should just be like whoosh. You know when a lake drops in level in the winter? After all that summertime evaporation. Well, it's not the winter, this is the autumn. But anyways, the level of the lake drops and you got that like dark, rocky look and the light, you know. That's kind of what that is, a shoreline along here. Can't, just something odd about this. There's a horizon line is like, gotta fix that. Or bring this down or something. Something has to happen there. We'll bring this up. Just a hair. Okay, let's figure this out. all of a sudden, my alarm's gonna go off and I'm gonna be like, awesome, I gotta come back out here. So, that being said, thank you so much for watching. I am going to go to bed and I'm gonna wake up and you're gonna see me again. Good morning. So I didn't go to bed till like 1 or 2 because I couldn't fall asleep at all. So I did not get up at 4 a.m. because I didn't notice my wristwatch buzzing me awake because it was only like a few hours, if that. And obviously it's impossible to run on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, so, well, not impossible, but I'm not doing it. Anyway, I slept till 7 instead. So, good morning. It's not 4 a.m., but it's 8 a.m. after getting changed and doing some chores. So we're gonna get going on this magic. I feel like I had a lot more energy last night. Let's get into it. Alright, so just reconfiguring some values here. I just want some darker ones in here. And I readjusted this. And then I'll leave it. This will be too wet. Get to dry a little. Some other details. I'm not sure yet. So, I definitely need some more texture in my trees. So I think I'm gonna add some leaves and such later. Alright, let's leave this for now because I think I gotta stand back here for a second. It's definitely gonna need some texture. Some texture later. I'm also gonna have to fade this out and glaze over it so it looks more foggy in between, less clear along the rocks and along the bases and in between parts of the trees, a little bit more dark, a little bit more foggy. And then leaf textures. I'll probably put the leaf textures on and then do the glazing in between areas. Otherwise it will look so bleh. Looks too coloring book for my taste, to be honest. Ooh, we got a nice close-up of my face. Ooh, that looks endearing. At some point I must have touched something. Yuck. Mistakes. Alright, so it's autumn, and when we look outside in the autumn, fall, it is pretty browny on the ground. All the trees have lots of leaves and needles. The ground is pretty vibrant, orange and browns. So that's what we're going to add on the ground here. Because that is what's true to nature. Yeah. All right. First, lost my big rocks. Let's add them back in real quick. I think it should really be here. And right beside it. Let's pick up that blue that's there and use that to our benefit. And since I got on my brush, I'll use this blue pigment to shade in some of these rocks, and I'll come back and pop some highlights in after. That'll be a nice shadow. All right, so it's just about 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna finish up this base layer for my background and middle ground by adding in the little in-between areas here. And then, my friends, I think I'm gonna call it an episode. Yeah, otherwise I'll be a long time sitting here. But like I said, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to do artworks paired with adventures. So this will actually be part of a much longer, no it's not, a much shorter video later where I go on an adventure to Squamish and Whistler, up through Lillooet and back down into the Fraser Valley, and then where this is all inspired by, and plus obviously my imagination. And then you'll see kind of like the lake and everything where I got this idea in my head, and the trees when they were all looking like this. And then also you'll see me paint, but in a much shorter, brief few moments from start to finish. And I think it'll be a much different way of watching it. You'll be able to see the inspiration, and also this all happened in just a matter of moments from start to finish. So stay tuned for that one. Like I said, I'm gonna do vlog videos, just some adventure videos, and then art and adventure videos, which will be my main cinematic features that I'll put my most effort in, with drone footage and everything. I didn't get drone footage for this one because we didn't have the drone when I filmed this adventure, but all the upcoming videos will all have drone footage, everything, all in it. So it'll look really, really cool. You'll get to see some really amazing behind the scenes footage of starting off with British Columbia, and then my goal is to adventure out into other parts of Canada, United States, and then hopefully one day the world. So if you're like, hey, artist, I have a place that I think you should come film, we'll have you travel to our location, country, wherever, and then you do a promo for us and make art inspired by the location, I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't need, I just need inspiration. I just need all that. I'm an easygoing person. That'd be my ideal world. That's kind of my goal for this channel. One day, it's just to be like traveling, adventuring, gathering inspiration for art, and then making the art, which is what making art's all about. If you're looking for ideas, for inspiration, my advice is to just go outside and look at the world. Don't go on Pinterest. That can get you into some copyright problems. If you're trying to avoid any of that, if you're looking for reference images and ideas, take a camera and go out into the world. Then that idea will be unique to you. You'll get the inspiration, you'll see it, you'll experience it, and you can even take your own reference images, which is most likely the best thing. I'll be honest, a lot of this is, well, this is reference images, and then I'm making, obviously, my focal points are all made up in my head, and I find some deer images just to get the gist of it. But it's not like this exists outside, but if it did, wouldn't that be cool? What would you even say to a deer stump? Like if you were like walking, like, hey, we're on an adventure, I'm on a hike, and there's like this like deer, this stump, and you're like, oh hey, look at this cool stump, but it's actually a deer and it starts talking to you. What would you say to it? I don't even know how this idea came in. Honestly, I was gonna start off with like I was gonna do like a watercolor painting of like a dead fish, because like it was fall and like we went to this lake. I forget what it's called. I will have to ask my husband. And and anyways, we went to the lake, and there's like all, and you'll see it in the video, the adventure video. I'm like, wow, look at all this stuff, and I'm like touching the cold water because it's Whistler, which is like, if you don't know, snowy mountains, even in the fall. So I'm up there, I'm touching the water, I'm like, ooh, look at this. And I look down, like maybe a foot in front of me, there's like dead fish like everywhere. I'm like, cool. And I'm playing in in the decaying bodies of some fish. And it's so misleading because the water is like so pure and crystal clear. It's just mountain rainwater. As crystal clear as what you would get in your water bottle at a store. Anyways, and I'm like playing in that water with the fish. So I was thinking, oh, a nice dead fish painting would be nice to go with this. I really need my tea. It's very cold. I forgot about it. I made it like 4 hours ago. I did not drink it, and now my throat's dry. Because it's so cold outside right now. I have all the heaters on, it's just drying out this air. Drying it out. Anyways, I was gonna do fish painting, and then I don't know what happens. It's like when you go to bed, or right before you go to bed, or whatever you're doing, or you go on a walk, the idea comes right to you, and I'm like, a deer head stump. That's what I'm gonna do. A deer head stump, just majestic. Because we saw a whole bunch of deer when we were driving. I couldn't take footage of it. I saw a bear. I thought, oh, I could do a bear painting. But honestly, when you think about like the Rockies or like Canada, you're always like, oh my god, bears and stuff. And every time I go out on adventures, I never see bears. But you know where I see them all the time? It's like literally in my backyard. Just walking down past the house, all the deer in the world, just wandering in my yard. I'm like, alright. That's cool. I want to see you guys in your natural environment, not just like wandering. I guess I kind of live in a rural area, but still. I want to see them in the forest, like sauntering through the trees. These guys are like lazy bears and they're just like eating grass, which I guess is what bears want to do. But anyway. I ended up doing this. Inspired by the deer I saw here and there. And I'm pretty excited about it. I was like, it took me a while to come up with an idea for this one because mostly it was a very majestic landscape adventure. And that's the beautiful thing. We go up to Whistler if you ever do, or Squamish. It's pretty majestic. Like, and we did this Fraser Valley up to Squamish, and then over to Lillooet Drive, and it's majestic. I have lots of footage. The mountains are majestic. It's the only word to describe it. So I'm like, oh man. And the autumn leaves and the fall. And I'm like, wow, this is totally like landscape worthy, right? But I don't do landscape. I've never done landscapes. This is primary landscape for me. This is very new. So that's why it's taking me a while to navigate this. I like to do characters. But I'm like, my characters actually probably need to live somewhere. I should grow as an artist. So this one's living somewhere. Right, and so I'm trying to do my whole new series, art and adventure. I'm trying new things. Usually all my art just comes right from my head only, and that is it. It's just things that are coming out of my brain. So now I'm trying to place them in the real world and also get experience working on technique a little bit more by doing this. And just develop my skill and try new things, not just clay. This looks stupid here. I gotta figure out that shoreline. I don't like it. Anyway, that's fine for now. I think. Unless that is. Let me look at my picture. Yeah. I guess it's just grass or like stuff on the rocks that has fallen. It's kind of an awkward thing. I gotta think about it. Maybe I'll turn it into like some mossiness. Let's brighten this hue. Anyway, so I'm trying trying to grow and develop by doing this series. And by having a YouTube channel, I'm committed to developing my art career because I was in a few shows every year, gallery shows, and then COVID happened. And in Vancouver, the prices of spaces, of anything, is very significant. If you ever travel here, you will know. You're like, wow, that's cool. Everything is really expensive. And so there's that. And then, oh yeah, all the galleries, a lot of them shut down. So now I think there's mostly like, there's not as many commercial galleries. Some of the older ones, they're still around. But I do a lot of lowbrow, and so I feel like I used to go to the Aiden Gallery and all kinds of stuff, which are very lowbrow, surrealist, different stuff. And basically what I'm saying is a lot of galleries that I used to show my work in, so like ceramics galleries, they're closed, they're gone, they don't even exist anymore. Lowbrow ones I used to show at, they're gone, they don't exist anymore. So I haven't shown in a few years. Oh yeah, and it was COVID. And also that was kind of the nail in the coffin for a lot of places. So either I think I need to expand to other provinces and maybe the states. Looking at California or Washington State. And I have no idea how you can do that. Like how you show your work. I just want to show it. Anyways, in different places. And I like to do that, and then also, yeah, I just want to get back into doing shows, and this is my way in. Yeah, one, it's a commitment to, I'm hopefully doing 3 videos a week for you guys, and then, so that'll be my commitment, which means I'll have to work in my studio. And then also, I think that tying my work into a sense of place might help me get into some other galleries that might not necessarily have been interested in just lowbrow before. No, I'm smudging brown in the water. Bad idea. I got a hair on my painting and there's like a missing mark here. This is something that wouldn't happen in acrylic. Just blend it over because it's still wet from last night. That's cool. My goal is to get into a lot more shows in 2024. The goals are huge. I want to get into a couple shows. We'll see what galleries exist. I would like to get into some art competitions. I have to look into that. We'll see how it comes out. And then I would like to do some international showing. Well, a national, like across Canada, some different provinces. Like, I would drive my work places for real. And also, I want to get, basically I want to expand past British Columbia, both nationally and internationally, and get my art going again. I focus a lot on my Mizartastic stuff, which is my business, during the last few years because it was COVID and there was no galleries anymore. So I was just making art in here. Did I show during the pandemic? I think I might have. I can't remember. It's such a blur. There's a lot of shows the last 10 years or so. But it's time to expand. I expand my roots, expand my art. I want to make adventures with art, and I want to also make a sculptural version and a painting version of my art. So after this is done, I'm going to make a sculpture version of Trout Sniffer. So Trout Sniffer, I did it as a painting. I'm going to do it as a sculpture next. I'm going to do a big one and I'm going to do a mini sniffer. Like you can see right here, I have a big octopussy and a small, small octopussy. You can't see it. Big one, and the painting's up top. And so I'm exploring them in different mediums as well. So I'm like going super deep in everything. I think that's gonna set me apart, because it can. I mean, I couldn't even actually do oil painting until this is my first one, so keep that in mind. I paint, but not like this, but I love it. Anyways, I think it's just all about growing and developing as an artist. And if people want to be stuck up about like, you know, painter, well, I'm painting right now. I just say, oh, I'm just a ceramics person. Well, that's being stuck up and weird and stupid. How's that growing? It's not being an artist. Artists need to expand their wings, explore, and try everything. You never know. But I'm quite enjoying this. I never used to enjoy painting, but now I do. So I'm gonna lean into it. As the paint coach says, lean into the medium. Good YouTube channel. Learned a lot. And so his advice was, if you're transitioning from acrylic to oil, to lean into it. It's not like the same drying time, so lean into what makes oil oil. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not adding any liquid or anything that makes it speed up. I'm just going to lean into the dry time, because I think that's the best way to experience a medium in its fullest. Otherwise, I'm just trying to make it acrylic, I guess. Well, it won't, because it blends completely different, but anyways, it doesn't matter. My point is, I'm just going to lean into it, and then that's what I'm going to do. I really need to get some brushes. Also, if you are watching this, my goal this year is to get both my YouTube channels up to 100,000 subscribers. That is my goal. Part of the reason why I'm doing the 3 videos a week. I want to get, it's just like, I just really, really want to. Just because. There's no other reason. I'm not going to do, I don't know. It's just the only thing I want. I just want to do that. It's just a goal of mine, is to get to 100,000 subscribers. So I'm going to try to do anything I can to make that happen. So if you could subscribe to this channel, that'd be super cool. Also, share it, watch it. But really, I would just love some subscriber happenings, and I will do when I get there. On both my channels, both my channels. So my other channel is Sarcastic, which is my art for kids channel. So if you have kids, if you're a teacher, grandparent, whatever, and you have kids who want to learn how to draw, make art, I do preschool and kid level videos there. I would totally appreciate some subscribers there. But this is my personal art channel. Very, very different. And I'm not going to change my subject matter and be like mindful of like, oh, my other audience is kids, because that's Sarcastic, that's my art personality, whereas this is me as Kathleen, as an artist. And so I need to be true to myself and my ideas. And so this is obviously an adult channel. So if you are enjoying this, please subscribe. If you have kids and you would like them to learn from an artist who also was a teacher, so a real teacher, real artist, for free, check out my other channel, Sarcastic, and please subscribe. Help me get to 100,000 on both of my channels, because I will do a crazy challenge. Maybe I'll go across the country, either Canada or United States, I don't know yet, and do some crazy adventure and art vids inspired by the entire country. That would be something I would totally do for you. If yeah, I'll make it 200,000 on them. Yeah. I'm determined to get there this year. Is it unrealistic? Definitely. But I'm all going for it. Why not? Okay. I think I should leave it at that for now. Oh, I forgot this side. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's looking... I keep looking at the camera screen because I can see it looks farther away. Anyway, it's looking good from a distance. The values and the depths in here are a little bit better. Needs a lot more. Needs a lot more highlights, variety, everything. Shadows, fog. But we're getting there. Okay, I'm gonna do this other side real quick. Alright, that's it for this episode. We're gonna end it here, and this is kind of just the whole process of developing your background, middle ground, starting into the foreground, just getting your base layers and values all built up before we begin adding in more detail and values. Also, it's going to give me a little bit of time to decide on how much information I want to add into these areas. Obviously, I have to work on here because this is a little bit more foreground, so I need to definitely have some more detail in there. But it's going to really give me some time to think about and consider these areas, again, in terms of how much detail and refinement I add, or information I leave in or leave out. Again, I want this to be the focal point of the design. So this will be the most detailed, most different, most emphasis, most contrast, all placed here. So that way the viewer will enter my artwork through the deer stump, the tree stump, that's deer, and then move around through the butterflies and the stuff puking out its mouth that's currently not there, and then move around the background and take in that information. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this for now. There obviously needs to be a lot more work done in here. I like these rocks. These ones, they need a little bit of work. I don't know, I'm thinking about stuff. So yeah, time to consider while I work on this next. So the next video, we are diving in on the deer. I know, I'm so excited. So we're gonna do this, and the butterflies, and then we're gonna come back to the background at the end, and we'll do a lot of details and then glazing. I'm so excited. So please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next episode.